So rivalries in basketball are good. They are good for the game. And yesterday's Iowa-Ohio State rivalry with these group of players was big. Obviously, this is last year's game. But we've seen it every single time Caitlin Clark faces JC Sheldon in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark wants to destroy her. Caitlin Clark has set her career high and the all-time assist record being guarded by JC Sheldon. That is what Caitlin Clark has done. And that is huge. That is absolutely huge for basketball. There is a rivalry there. And yesterday's game was incredible as well. Again, an iffy call deciding the game, but I'm not going to say it was a horrific call. It's one of those calls where it's like in slow motion, it looks bad, but at the time, on the day, I don't think anyone really questioned it. And then also, like, they called a kind of soft foul for Ohio State, and then kind of let away a foul on an Fulter layup. But again, look, it was a 1-point game. McMahon was unbelievable. But Cody McMahon comes out after the game, and a lot of people are in uproar, being like, she came out after the game and was like, Iowa have said they have a disrespectful view of Ohio State. Nah, man, this is just rivalry. This is just absolute rivalry. This is just rivalry. And never forget, in fairness, against Iowa, it was Cody McMahon who hit the game-winning shots. The person that Caitlin Clark hit with the flop of the century. Actually, no, that wasn't that bad one. Caitlin Clark knocks into her and then kind of flops back. There were worse Caitlin Clark flops than that, but to get her hit with a technical foul. When have you guys not heard the story with Ohio State? So, in the sellout of all available tickets that day, not including top of the arena, fans received a special dub chain t-shirt by the university. It paid homage to the actual dub chain the team gives out to a player following victories. Following the win, Clark grabbed one of the shirts, threw it over his shoulder. This happened in front of then freshman forward Cody McMahon. Caitlin Clark took the dub chain shirt as like a little joke, whatever, which is cool. I was just thinking in my head, seeing that we just have to smile through that night and move on to the next. Like, I'm sorry. There are rivalries. Like, I'm sorry, when this version of Caitlin Clark comes out in the WNBA, like, you're seeing an unrivaled LSU Angel Reese is starting to come out. She is pissing off everybody in a good way. As in, every opponent wants to kill her, it seems. Every opponent wants to beat her. And if you're willing to put that target on yourself. And again, if Iowa Caitlin Clark, like, they are two of the biggest, like, shit talkers in women's basketball. And it'll, like, when this version of Caitlin Clark comes back, like, this is mental. This is absolutely mental. And, yeah, like, all these stories coming out. No wonder she feels that way towards Iowa. Like, this is a rivalry. And rivalries are good for sports. Like, people are like, oh, the only people that were disrespectful was Ohio State towards Iowa players. And I'm like, I'm sorry, for 4 years, Caitlin Clark still wants to destroy JC Sheldon every time they play. These were the heated matchups in the Big Ten Conference for years. It was the Big Ten final back-to-back years. This was the heated matchup. It was. This was the matchup for a while. Like, what was the 2024 Big Ten Tournament Final? Big Ten Women's Basketball. So, like, the final was... When was the final? 2024 Big Ten Women's Basketball Tournament. Ohio State were the number 1 team in the conference, despite the fact Iowa were the number 2 team in the nation. And then in the finals, it was Ohio State. Oh, sorry, it was Iowa versus Nebraska. Sorry. Ohio State lost. Jeez, so it was the year before that Iowa beat them by like 30. Iowa beat Ohio State by 30 the year before. Why did I think it was back-to-back finals? Wow, Ohio State lost to Maryland with Celeste Taylor. Wow. But in 2023, the final was Ohio State versus Iowa. Iowa were the 2 seed. Ohio State had just beaten Indiana with Grace Berger, who were the 1 seed. And Iowa beat them by 35 points. 35 points. With Cody McMahon making the all-tournament team, who's still in college as a sophomore. with that, or is she a senior? Or is she a junior? Or was she a freshman at the time? I have no idea. But that was a game for Ohio State. The Caitlin Clark had 30 points, 17 assists, and 10 boards. She had a 30.70 assist triple-double on 73% true shooting. So, yeah. And with the amount of, like, shit talk that Iowa team did, like, they were no angels. They were tough. They were a tough team. They were a team that weren't going to back down. They were a team that were going to let you know as well. And with the amount of trash talking that they did, of course, Ohio State are going to come out and have a bit of a problem with them. Again, a game where it looked like Iowa were going to win it. And then, yeah, just an unfortunate one. An unfortunate way to end that game. But obviously, look, it's a rivalry continued. And people bringing up this picture, like, it's not relevant. You can say what you want about Cody McMahon, but, like, that is absolutely no relevant to, a factual statement. Like, there's been no respect in either way between these teams. There's been absolutely no respect. There is, like, legitimately, there's not. And that's fine. That's fine. Like, there is a mutual respect on the court between these two. Otherwise, there's never a rivalry between two teams that there's no mutual respect on the court. But, like, I mean, you've got, off the court, these two teams did not like each other. And Cody McMahon was there through it all. She was there through it all. And then hit the game-winning free throws against Iowa this time. So, yeah. That was an interesting one anyway. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys have a problem with what she said, or do you not have a problem? I have no problem with it. I have no problem with it. Like, didn't call anyone out by name, just said that Iowa team don't have respect for them. And in fairness, like, with some of the celebrations, like, these teams, I think it's a mutual stuff. Like, I don't think for either of them there is that much respect, but obviously there is mutual respect in a way. So, yeah. It's a mad out situation, a mad way that game ended. And it is just unfortunate, obviously, that this was Cody McMahon 2 games ago. So that picture started being sent around where it's like, probably best to not throw stones in a glass house, living in a glass house in that regard. But either way, sure, look, it is what it is. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.